Attack is back, cause I'm mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of wrestling. Testing competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the rings like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the wolf pack. Here to prove a point, number one, best believe that you don't wanna tussle with them or be a fool of them. Come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack. Don't turn your back on
Wrestling fans, what is going on? It is Thursday night, the night before Friday, the night before the big weekend, and we do have a big weekend coming up here next weekend. More about that later. But this is the filler segment. I am Dan. This is William, and we are ready to rock and roll this evening. What say you?
I'm ready to go, man. Let's get into it. I'm ready.
I want to get right into it, man. All right. Well, first and foremost, before we go any further into what the main event is for this evening, we're on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your girlfriends, tell your friend's girlfriend. I don't care. Just tell. And remember, your comments do matter on here. So please like, share, and subscribe. So this is what we're getting into this evening. We are getting into wrestling's biggest letdowns. And you know just as well as I do, we have probably an archive full of letdowns, but we're talking about the biggest ones. So what say you? You know, why don't we kick it off with you? I kicked it off last week. So, you know, I know you've got a good one up your sleeve. What you got?
I do. That's why my head is down right now. I'm trying to get to it. My A1, well, I'm not even gonna say my A1, but my first one I want to go through today is and we kind of touched on it. I want to say it was last week. We kind of touched on it, but
all right,
the whole finger poke of doom thing.
Yes,
and
that was very disappointing because it killed a company, man. You can't get much. You do that to your world champion. I mean, that's something you pull with maybe the TV title, and you can get away with it. But you're champion. I will always use that because that's all I need.
Yeah, the fact that, like I said last week, the fact that you took Goldberg, you took the title off of Goldberg for that.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. I think we have our first guest of the evening. Come on over, buddy.
Oh,
come here, right here.
Go ahead.
First of all, hey, look over here. Say hi.
Hi.
Talking to the mic.
Okay. So I want that one.
Hey,
you go ahead and have that one, okay? All right. It must be snack time in the Valdez household because that would be Mr. Luther playing his Switch and grabbing some chips. So, anyways, getting back to that, yes, I agree. That was pretty disappointing. I mean, could you top that? Oh, we're gonna try. In this show, we're gonna try because I'm gonna just go off of individual accolades right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And I know I'm gonna piss a certain person off in this group. I don't care. Lex Luger to me was the biggest disappointment. And I'm going to tell you why. He was pushed to the moon. He wasn't even ready at all for any of it. He was pushed to the moon by Vince, and then he got the carpet yanked right out from under him because, he had to go and run his mouth on a radio station as to what was going to happen at that particular SummerSlam when he went with Yoko again for the title. That's where the whole Lex Express came in. And then I'll even take it a step further and say, even at his debut with the Narcissist, I mean, we got all hyped up for Lex Luger. Like, even in WCW, he was overbooked. He was way overbooked. I mean, your thoughts that anybody can jump in here at any point. Oh, and I see right here because we got some stragglers. What are we talking about? Okay, this is what we are going to be talking about. We're talking about still wrestling's biggest letdowns. So I say, Lex Luger, if you have a counter to that, please, I'd love to hear it.
No, I really feel like, and just to your point of with the whole Lex Express thing, like again, the same thing, like to my point with the whole finger poke of doom is like you did all of that to take that, to take that off of Goldberg. You did this whole tour of part of the country because he didn't really go everywhere. If you look at the dates, he was pretty much in like, the Northeast and the Atlantic coast, and
he was
down in that area.
He was in Connecticut somewhere. My guess, Windsor Locks. Shout out to Windsor Locks,
right over there by the airport.
Right by the airport.
But I mean, you did all of that for him to not put the strap on him. Like it was pointless to even do all of that. You wasted all of that money, all that promo, all that gas money for that bus, the money for the bus.
He even had his face on it. I mean, come on, that was they pushed him.
Helicopter rental for the body slam on the boat, and
they pushed him to the moon.
They did for him to lose. Like, poor Alan.
Oh,
poor Alan.
I'm sorry, Alan. And you know what? I know
that must have broke his heart.
I know he's gonna watch this, and that's quite all right. You can seriously, whatever you need to do to get it back at me, I'm good.
But no, I do agree. And even like in his WCW days, like he had the look, but that was about it. And they tried to shove him down our throats, and it didn't work. Just overall, I really believe that he's up there.
No, he has to be.
He's up there with the tops of the letdowns. Just just as a career in general. I mean, we can't erase the history he made, the championships he won, things like that. But that don't mean he was good. That does not mean he was good.
No, you're right. It wasn't good. And you know what, Alan, you can send your hate mail right there. You can send your hate mail right there. I will be glad to read it. I will read it live on air just for you. But that's where all the hate mail goes. Just put attention, Dan. We'll figure it out. So Lex Luger, yes, Lex Luger, disappointing.
Very disappointing as a whole in the entertainment business, which is still sports. Yes.
Which is still barely sports.
It's still barely sports.
Barely sports.
Another one, and every week I'm just going off the cuff, man. Like I really need to start doing some better prep. But
hey, listen, it's okay.
Another one I had, and this is, I don't know. I could go either way. You want me to go individual?
You can do anything you want. It's
right.
Oh, just so you know, Brody handled Luger.
Yeah,
we're well aware of that.
Many others.
We are well aware of the fact that our headliner, Brody, handled one Larry Fall. That's it. And once again, your hate mail can go right here to filler.segment.cast@gmail.com. But yeah. So go on.
But yeah, I was gonna go with WrestleMania 9.
Oh, for sure. As
a production. For selling out the Hoosier Dome the year before, and like Vince bases his like upcoming year all off of what Mania does. So
right from the Hoosier Dome to like the parking lot at Caesar's Palace. Like when we were there, when me and Shiloh was there, I mean, we went and I shit you not, I just stood right in that spot, which is it's no longer a parking lot. It's just like a walkthrough where like Hell's Kitchen is and everything, right into Caesar's Palace. There I go. Yeah, I said WrestleMania was right here, literally right here at this spot, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so then I showed her on the network. If they didn't edit that out already, but I mean,
I don't think they did.
It was nothing but bleachers and a few chairs.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, but just that, that one, and I've seen a couple videos, that ranked shows and things of that nature, and that one was always up there. That one stands out because it wasn't for a WrestleMania like that one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and lump number 11 in there with it. Wasn't I was seriously disappointed in 11 with just the overabundance of celebrity appearance, and then the whole main event thing.
Yeah, the main event
Taylor
thing.
and Bam Bam, like,
And it was. I mean, it's in
know.
Vegas, man. I mean, there had to have been some other place. I mean, yeah, I get it. You want it on the Strip, but come on, you have to go big in Vegas. That to me was the biggest disappointment for me. You're in Las
and then
Vegas.
when you think about it, the only place they could have gone bigger was Thomas and Mack, and that that was an indoor venue where UNLV basketball plays, but
still, it's better than the parking lot at Caesars.
Of Caesar's Palace. You're right.
Just know that the next time it's going to be in Vegas, it will be it'll be at the Roomba,
the Death Star.
the Death
It'll
Star.
be at the
That's
Star.
right.
Yes, sir.
And I am here for it. So, but that's another show for another
100%.
day. Be disappointing if they didn't. Then we can
What you
add
got?
that to the list. All right. So another disappointment. Then I'm going to go with Moment here, and this isn't really a throwaway, but I can already see the Boo Birds coming out for this. But I'm going to take you back in time. I'm going to go single screen for this, just so everybody can really feel me on this one. So I'm going to take you back in time for a little bit. I'm looking at you. November 1991. Survivor Series. It was a lot of firsts in that one. First appearance of The Undertaker. Sole Survivor match. But the one thing that was built up was the gobbledydamn and the friggin' egg.
The gobbledydamn gooker.
Disappointing.
Gobbledydamn gooker.
I was about Luther's age when that happened, and I had a subscription to WWF magazine, all the whole thing, and that's when it was like, oh, there's something in the egg. You'll find out. And I'm like, all right, who's it gonna be? I thought, a debut of someone, or maybe,
right.
or who knows? But the gobbledygooker.
The gobbledydamn gooker.
It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, Piper tried to sell the hell out of that.
Didn't he though?
He tried to sell the hell out of that.
He really did. He really did. He oversold. His commentary was overselling. Like, it was really, it's only so much one commentator can put a guy or a situation or a match over, man. But he did everything he could.
Did what he could. You know what? And only because we're getting this in live via satellite. We have one that's coming right up, and nope, not that one. It's going to be this one from the boss himself, live via satellite. Booker T not beating H. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. I mean, but we all know why.
We all know why.
We all know why, because Vince isn't going to put over one of their guys. He's not going to do it.
Not one of those guys from Atlanta.
Hold
on a second, Dan. 15-minute mark. I always gotta flip the lid around.
Wait a minute. You know what? Before you do that, I have it. Wait a minute. Boom. Go ahead.
My man. So this one is special. All right, give me 1 second.
Ooh.
Shout out to the Detroit Tigers today for winning against the Cleveland baseball team, because let's just face it, that's what they're going to be in a blizzard. 3-2. Way to go, Detroit. So you guys get my love today. You guys get the shout out today to the Detroit Tigers for playing a whole 9-inning baseball game in Detroit. I want to say it was in Detroit. It was either Detroit or Cleveland, wherever it was at.
Does it matter? It's snowing over.
It doesn't matter where they played. But yes,
like your girlfriend's friends, it just doesn't matter. At least that's what they want you to think. So, anyways, so I'm going to give a shout out to Mark Jolliffe on that one too, because I'm going to throw out my thing with your hat now. You know, I've figured it out. I'm going to type this up. So to associate with your hat, we go with the old school player of the week, and I'm giving that one the name of the Alan Trammell special.
The Alan Trammell special.
And last week we had Mike Schmidt. We had the Alan Trammell.
It was Mike Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt was a couple weeks ago. It was a Barry Bonds special last week.
Yeah.
And then it was Mike
Barry
Schmidt
Bonds last week. Hey, I would have went Sparky Anderson, but you know, Mike, Alan Trammell's cool. Cecil Fielder, you can throw him in there too.
You know what?
Back when he was with Detroit.
And I'll even throw in the great Chet Lemon.
Oh man, remember all of those days from old school RBI baseball back on
of course, RBI. Oh yeah, man, RBI baseball. All this other fine video games that we used to play back in the day. But yeah,
really.
we've already got through our favorite segments so far on that. But you know, we're still going with our letdowns. Oh, here's a good one. And you know what? I'm gonna go with one.
Yo, why was I getting ready to? That one was one I had for today.
I don't know who.
Yes, this one. Who said this? I'm cheating. I'm looking.
Yeah, you go ahead and cheat. And we'll shout them out right now.
Oh, it was Ms. Markey.
Oh,
Ms. Markey brought up the brawl for all. Hey, great minds think alike. Because I was really gonna bring up we're here, so let's go. We're here, so let's go. Aside from this being Vince's dumbest idea, you know, at the end of the day, you look back at it, it was like, man, what? Why? It was cool to see kind of like the tough guys be the tough guys, but Butterbean, man.
Butterbean made them all look dumb.
He made them all look like, yo, you should have just put me in this from the beginning, and it wouldn't have been nothing to talk about, you know. But some of those, and I don't really think a lot of those tough guys were like legit tough guys. They just didn't really know what to do with the 300-pound jobbers, so they threw some boxing gloves on. You can't tell me Bart Gunn was tougher than all of them dudes for real, Bart Gunn.
Yeah, he knocked out JBL, and that's what the whole thing was supposed to be all for. It was just to see who could actually do it. And you know, I mean,
good job, Vince Russo.
So thank God Bart Gunn took the hit, because could you imagine that should have been on the What If show? What if JBL got his ass whooped by Butterbean?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been no acolytes, I'll tell you that much. It might have been Farouk and Bart Gunn. It might have been Farouk and Bart Gunn instead. Who knows?
I could see Bart throwing down a few
man, the whole brawl for all idea. It just, you know, horrible. That was a good. Thank you, Marky. That was a pretty good one, because
that was a very good one.
Gonna go with that one. She had mentioned
I'm waiting.
Yeah, she's right though. She's right in the comment. Everybody did think that it was supposed to be for Dr. Death to win, and he ended up getting his ass whooped too. So, I mean, you know,
big ups.
Yeah, and he ended up getting his ass whooped too.
Big ups, Marky. This is why we have you around. You're our stat girl outside of here. I know you'll throw it at us, so you know what, the job's yours if you want it. So, but here's another one, and you know what? This was honestly my next one. Ethan Carter III, the top 1%.
Yeah,
they hyped it.
They fumbled with this one.
Oh my word, did they? They
fumbled with this one, man.
Yeah, they really did.
Seriously, I mean, they fumbled with this one. He could have been like
decent,
one of the guys.
Yeah,
he could have easily been one of the guys right now. Like one of the, you know, he had it. He could go in the ring. Physique,
he had the look. He had it all.
Awesome on the mic. He had everything. He had it, and this really and him being mentioned and discussed on the show right now isn't a knock on him. It's a knock on booking. It's a knock on creative. It's a knock on everybody who had something in their hand almost perfect for the situation and just did nothing. Put him on main way too soon.
They dropped the ball.
Put him on main way too soon. They really did. He went to main way too soon.
Yeah, that whole
way
class.
too soon. He couldn't.
That whole class really hadn't done much.
Right. That was like the injury era for call-ups right there because everybody was getting hurt and they needed to fill roster spots and they just stopped people. Yeah. And if you look at the last year's last April's future endeavor list, a lot of those guys were on that class. Were in that class, yeah, because they got fast tracked to the main roster.
Way too soon.
Vince was just like, yeah, we just need you here to count the lights, and then we'll let you go when your deal is up. Or we can throw you in some catering segments and just not have you say anything, even though you're like really good.
You could be
which is why you're here, because you're good. Oh man, yo, oh boy, I don't want to talk about that.
Well,
I do not want to talk about that. But we might have to though.
I think you might.
We might have to though. But you know what though? The thing about the Rosebuds though, they produced a lot of talent that ended up being something.
Braun was a bud.
Braun was a Rosebud. Vince was pissed about that.
Yeah, Braun was a bud. Becky Lynch was a bud.
Becky Lynch was a Rosebud, yeah. So that means if Becky Lynch was a Rosebud, then Bliss had to have been a Rosebud because they came to NXT around the same time.
She was in there too.
Yeah, a little bit of everybody. I'm pretty sure Bud Murphy was a Rosebud once or twice.
I'm sure Bud Murphy, Buddy H. Christ was a Rosebud.
Tino Sabatelli, Riddick Moss, people like No Way Jose, who ended up being Coda Reeves. Oh,
where you at, Coda Reeves? Shout out to the Rock and Morris, illegitimate kid.
That's what his name should be, Rocky Morrison.
Rocky Moore. Oh my word. The jokes just write themselves. Just like Rocky V. I know, right? I mean,
who?
Well, yeah, I mean, Rocky Morrison, man. That's Rocky V right there, man.
Rocky V.
Rocky V. That would work. What are we sipping on this evening?
Sir? Oh man, that is once again. Speaking of The Rock, that is his tequila once again with a little cranberry. I'm not overdoing it this week. Last week my drink was a little strong and I was sweating under my hat, and I didn't want to really. Thankfully, there's no light. Nobody could really see me sweat. But yeah, I overdid it last week. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yep. My drink of the week. I know last week it was the cream soda, Dr. Pepper, and this week, I'm not drinking. Advocates with me, so I'm not drinking it. But this week's drink is the Abita peanut butter and jam. Oh my word!
Lord.
It's peanut butter and jelly beer. Let me tell you, it is not bad. I had that same look on that you have right now, because Shyla's like, "Let's try it. Let's try it." I'm like, "Fuck it, it's beer. What's the So then I drank it, and I mean, oh my word! You get the peanut butter aftertaste with a little hint, and I said a little hint of strawberry jelly. So I'm just saying, it's good. It's good. But moving on to some more disappointments that we're getting.
I got one out the comments.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So. All right, which one are we posting? I already know.
The Wyatt family versus Shield feud.
Yeah, they could have done way more.
Money. That one was money. You could have ran that for a year. Between 6-man tags, interchanging the single scene. You could have threw a secondary title in there with some tag belts. You could have done so much with that. You really could have done so much with that. And even when they switched gears and bought Braun in, booking right there. Here's how you book that. you don't break the Shield up. You have them just dominate for a while to where the Wyatt family thinks, okay, we need to go ahead and get a little stronger. Boom. There's Braun. Simple right there. But that feud was money. I really wish it would have went on longer than it did, but man, oh man, that one would have drew a lot of dollars.
I mean, even if you could have taken all the titles out of it, because I believe Ambrose still had the United States belt, right?
Yeah, it makes it more interesting though.
It would have made it a little bit more interesting, but I mean, even just having the old faction feuds, we don't get that anymore on the E. But you know, on Tony Khan's AEW, that's all you get is Stable Wars.
It's shaping up, yeah. They're going in that direction right
which
now.
Is okay, man. I like Stable Wars is great. I'm okay with that.
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it. And then, you know, here's another good one, and this could be arguably towards the top of the list here is JYD not at least holding the Intercontinental belt. I can't really find an argument against that. He was a worker. He did what he had to do, and I mean, he showed up. He was entertaining. He was, I mean, clear cut, like, you know, face. He should have, and he had the physique. He was rough. You know, so
the crowd loved him.
Oh yeah,
he was a cast member on the cartoon show. He had merch. Why not? Well, I can think of a reason.
I think we
But
are.
still,
I think we can think of a ton of reasons why not. But I mean, or why?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
why? I mean, ridiculous. I mean, and I understand Terry Jean was kind of like had his own thing going on, but the IC championship belt was always the workers' belt, and I don't see why they couldn't have given him at least a run.
Now, my counter to that is like, when would it have been a good idea to put it on him? Like, who would he have taken it off of? Do you give it to him super early, like have him feud with Greg Valentine, and then have Macho take it off of him instead of Chico? Or like how when would you have plugged him in for that spot? Would you have plugged him in earlier than that against like Morocco instead of Pedro Morales?
You probably could have done it earlier. You could have got. I mean, earlier would have been fine, because like obviously in the next era, you know, the talent was there. I mean, with the exception, the exception of the one. So, but he was.
You're not talking about.
No.
You're not talking about Billy Gunn, are you? You did say the one. You're not talking about Billy Gunn.
No. I'm not talking about the four. Not like
well, you
the four.
The one Billy.
No.
Billy Gunn.
The one guy that we can't. Yeah, him.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Terry Jean.
Yeah.
All right.
The co-host.
And if we got to include the women, putting it on Sable and crapping on Luna, yeah. I mean, Sable was just there to put asses in seats, and I mean, Luna could have done the same, you know, with her in-ring talent alone, you know. But
but that wasn't the direction that he was going in.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I mean, it's a letdown,
like,
but
it really is.
You gotta understand, you know, the times too and everything, but I mean, at least she could have at least beat her once, just once.
Yeah.
That's another one.
One time.
You know, and then the boss is going to bring in one more for us, and we're going to say, Karma's Run, Awesome Kong. The two show.
I don't. Yeah. You know what? She did announce that she was having a baby.
Yeah.
What could you have done with her after that? It didn't seem like she wanted to be there to begin with. I mean, she did give us a pretty funny Rumble memory, though. You know, that was her appearance in the Rumble was pretty cool.
Yeah, when she took out Mitchell Cole.
Mitchell Cole, yeah. But it didn't seem like she really wanted to be there, though. Even prior to, and
now that you say that, yeah. Now that you say that, I see it that way now, because you kind of, you're like, you know what? Yeah. Once you think about it, it's like, yeah, did she really want to be there at all? I mean, she came back for TNA a couple times. So, you know, there's your answer right there. To me, there's your answer.
Yeah.
But guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? Yep.
It's just
Here.
commercial time.
It's commercial time, and guess what? I've got a good 4 on the line for you guys. 4.
Oh,
Don't worry. I had to reach in the vault for a couple of these because I remember seeing the first one, and I'm gonna give you the first one because the first one is great. I expect some feedback on these commercials, and we're gonna get to that next comment when we get back. Only because I disagree with that. But all right, we're gonna do some
I
commercials.
don't even want to talk about that.
All right, you know
I'm
what?
not talking about that next comment. Even if he was on the show, I'm not talking about that next comment. We're not going there. That's not a letdown. That's actually where I'm pleased with that. But you know what? We'll talk about it when we come back.
We're coming right back. All right, so stick around, enjoy the show for a little while, and remember before I do this last comment right here. Like, share, subscribe. Come on, filler segment right here on the tube. Enjoy some 4 commercials. Grab yourself a drink. Go get some merch. Grab me some Skittles.
After an accident, you may feel like you've been body slammed. Make your first call to professionals at Arrowhead Clinic. They have over 25 years' experience to treat injuries just like yours.
Call and get relief, recovery, and results. Arrowhead Clinics. It's all in the call.
That's good, bro. Oh, come on. All right,
Might be a little bit small.
Devin.
I'm coming.
Go ahead. Get in here.
I swear I had it, but I want it flushed.
All right, well, you're going to do it again. Come on, man. Oh.
Hey, Dad. No, thank you.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that technical difficulty, but I don't know what was going on with my commercial setup, but we at least got one of them. Now, what did you think of that one? I found that one because I remember seeing it live.
I don't remember that at all. That must have been something regional.
Yeah, well, it was I'm guessing it was regional because I just remember watching like stupid daytime TV, and I look up and Kevin Nash is talking about injury, and I'm like, oh boy. Like, well, at least they found the right guy.
I mean,
They found the right
he's not
guy.
talking about something he doesn't know.
No,
Seriously,
exactly.
he's not talking about something he didn't know.
No, because you know what? His back let him down, which segues me into wrestling's biggest letdowns this evening. I know.
So let's get into this mess that Arthur is talking about.
All right,
I'm
let's
not.
go.
I'm not. Listen, if I can thank COVID for one thing, it's for canceling the Bella's Hall of Fame induction, at least on time. Thank you to COVID for sparing me a year. I mean, I know I'm going to have to listen to it eventually or see it or be shown eventually, but
Here's the
if
thing.
there was one thing I didn't miss from 2020, it was that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, here's another letdown. That's a very valid one coming right up. Taker losing the streak. It's valid. Was it a letdown on how? I mean, I think it was more of a letdown on how it went down. But
I was more let down by him losing to Roman and then coming back.
Right, because we were all in tears.
Dude, it was a wrap.
One of the moments.
It really was.
That was a Macho Man moment from Mania 7. Okay, you cried. But that one, yeah.
I was more let down by him coming back. I knew that the streak was going to end eventually. I didn't want it to.
No.
I always thought he would do. Yeah, I always thought. I mean, Brock's a legitimate opponent to break the streak, but I would have preferred a safer guy, just for I don't know, I guess legacy purposes, so he can talk about the match. He can't really talk about the match now because Brock basically knocked him unconscious 4 or 5 minutes into the match. But I knew that it was going to end. I either wanted it to end or I'm not gonna say I wanted it to end. I never wanted the streak to end. I knew there was a potential of it ending. I would have liked to have seen him retire undefeated at WrestleMania, but I think him losing and doing everything he did post match against Roman and then coming back was more of a letdown than the streak ended.
Great. Well, you know what?
Just in my opinion. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. That's what we're here for. But I have a letdown, and this was my letdown.
Really?
The way she, and it's not so much like her. It's just how it was handled. Like, I mean, I'm going to bring up Exhibit A here. And again, this one's a shout out to Mark Jolliffe on this way and the Infinite Banter sponsor. When Asuka won the first Women's Royal Rumble, first one, let's march her out there and take away Asuka's moment. That kind of took away from it a little bit, if not a lot bit. I mean, that was, I'm not really with, how they handled her. I mean, we knew that she was going to be a champion, was going to be the champion. We knew that. It was a foregone because it was Rousey, and it would be not kind of believable if she wasn't. But just the way it was handled, just from the beginning, I wasn't a fan. If they would have just had her and Stephanie, feud for a little while to pick up where they left off after Mania, it would have been okay. Because you jump from a Stephanie McMahon feud right to the title. I just didn't. I was just let down in how it handled, and I knew you were gonna say that, boss man. But you know what? I just wasn't a fan. Wasn't a fan. Not. I mean, MMA, no question, loved it. But in the WWE, Your thoughts?
the whole year she spent, you kind of saw the predictable booking. You don't have a talent of that caliber and make them work their way to the top to prove that they can compete. Nah, you book them strong, and that's exactly what Vince did. I'm not so much gonna say as I was let down by her being there. She was as green can get, and if she was Shayna Baszler or Marina Shafir or Jessamine Duke, she'd either be just now making a splash on main or in development or like those other three ladies I just named. But because she
Yeah,
is
because
who
she
she
has
is,
she has a star power.
right, you strap the rocket to her back. I mean,
I know
I
you can't
can't
hate on
really.
it for that, but I mean, it could have been done way differently. To me, I think
It could have
after
been.
the night, to me, I think it would have sat a little bit better with me. I mean, I just saw it on Rousey right away in the eve, just because.
If
But I mean, if they would have done it the night
yeah,
after the Royal Rumble instead of having her crap
yeah,
all over
that's
Asuka,
exactly what I was gonna say. If they'd have did it on Raw,
I would have been.
right?
I
If they
mean,
would have
I
done it at
probably
like
would
the
have
end of
had
Raw or something like that.
I would have had a more open mind about how she was booked or how she was just like brought into the fold.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
they just it wasn't right to me. And Mark will agree with me on this because me and him have had discussions about this, and one of the very few things that we agree on, and that would be one of them. So, but let's see. Any more letdowns? We're getting some good ones this evening.
Yeah, I do have one. And this is more of this isn't anything individual, but the way WCW would basically repackage Vince's old talent with similar names and similar gimmicks.
Like we wouldn't know.
The right, the unoriginal, the unoriginality, the lack of originality is what the letdown for me is. Like, how you go from an earthquake to an avalanche? How?
I'm trying to figure that one out myself.
I mean,
and then yeah, they
like,
had.
I
Weird.
know how. Like I know how.
I mean,
it
we
would
know
be,
how, but I
an
mean,
earthquake
just
would
like
turn into an avalanche. Yeah, but I mean, really, are we not gonna know the difference between the Big Boss Man and the Big Boss? When you could have just called him Big Bubba when he came back, or between the Big Boss Man and the Guardian Angel, we just taking the cuffs and the gun from him and giving him a beret.
yeah,
Cool, yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Just horrible how the lazy creative process was with them. Like you could have done more and made your product better. But you chose to be lazy and think, oh, well, they'll still recognize him if we call him by this name. No, we'll still recognize him because we can see his damn face. How about that?
they really must have thought we were that dumb. I mean, for real.
Or they were just that lazy.
Yeah, I'd probably go.
Or they were just that lazy.
I'd go with
Like,
the latter on that one. Yeah, they were definitely lazy.
Example: the Renegade.
Whole Foods Ultimate Warrior. Yes.
Pulls that up. Yeah, straight up. Whole Foods Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. Now, Whole Foods is kind of expensive. I don't think we can give him that much love.
No,
He might have to be Stop and Shop Warrior.
Okay, Stop and Shop. Maybe even Big Y. I don't know. Price Right. For those of you who are outside of the circle over here, yeah, Price Right is just, that's the hood store. If you don't,
Food for less, price right. Albertsons for the
But
West Coast people. Y'all know about Albertsons.
oh no, Price Right. You have to come out here. You got to bag your own shit.
Yeah,
Bag your own shit. Aldi. Yeah, man. You seen their selection of like nuts over there, right? Aldi's nuts. I'm just kidding. Sorry, we're gonna move on. That was probably the biggest letdown of the evening right there. Brought to you by the fine folks at Aldi's. Come check out Aldi's nuts. All right. So more letdowns. There we go. There it is. Somebody said it. The Aldi's Warrior was Renegade. You put 25 cents in your card.
I see one in the
Oh.
I do. I see a couple in the
Would this
comments.
be that one?
I see 3 actually, but I'm not.
Would
There's
that be
one I
one of them?
refuse to talk about.
Yep.
Arthur, we're not
Oh.
talking about Rey Mysterio tonight.
No.
We're not about. I'm not trying to be pissed off neither. I'm really not trying to be upset. But
Oh.
you know what? Once again, screw it. Ray winning the title. How about that? Forget about Penn and Nash. How about Ray going the distance in the Royal Rumble and then Ray winning the title at WrestleMania? That's one of my biggest letdowns.
Yeah. That there it is.
Seriously. Since
Jimmy.
you want to talk about Rey Mysterio? There we go. Two of my biggest letdowns ever happened in the same calendar year within 70 days of each other.
Right. But then with this
Rey
was
Mysterio. Man.
this one right here. That was actually one of mine. Was the invasion angle as a whole? Because I mean, we understand what happened with the contracts and this, that, and the other, but it was like, could they have held off a little bit on that? I don't know. Jury's kind of out.
Yeah,
Jury's kind of
it
out.
didn't have to be anything. Yeah, it didn't have to be anything immediate. And here my brain goes with the booking again.
Go ahead, man.
You do the whole thing on Nitro, right? This is how you please your people. You do the whole thing on Nitro. Make everybody forget about the whole buying out WCW, and then at No Way Out, when you get to NWO, then and everybody else's contract is or everybody else is done sitting out their Time Warner contracts, you bring your bigger names in. You might not get Sting, but you get the NWO. I want to say Flair came shortly after like Survivor Series or something like that.
Yeah.
You do it that way. You may have a chance of getting those bigger names. You could have gotten Goldberg. You should have reached out to Sid, and well, no, Sid broke his leg, so you don't want to reach out to Sid. But yeah, or even like the WCW guys that came over before the invasion, throw Big Show into the mix and stuff like you could have done. You could have done that a lot of different ways.
Him over. You could have carried him. I mean, yeah, the way with the Big Show, yeah, prime example. He was already signed in, and we all knew he was giant. That's where he was. That's where he came from.
Yeah. Yep.
No prior experience. That's it. You put him over to there because we, as wrestling fans, we're not dumb. We know that he was there before.
Mm-hmm.
You put him over there and have him be like the catalyst. And then, then you have him answering to like other people, you know what I mean? And the other people come and graduate.
Almost kind of like when within the invasion angle, when you had Austin switch sides or Angle switch sides, and you just do it with the guys that were already there, that were there prior to, and then just do it that way. But you could have booked that way differently. Like I think it was rushed, and it just wasn't. It was sloppy because it was rushed. It could have been done so much better.
I agree.
So much better.
Yeah,
anything else out of these comments?
No, well, here's a good one. Barry Windham not winning the NWA World Championship in 1987. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a letdown.
I really wasn't too well versed with Crockett and the NWA around 87. One, because I was 5. Two, because I really I really didn't, I'm not gonna lie and say that I know, or I that I'm familiar with the situation. Because like I said, I was a kid. I ain't even front teeth in 1987. But from what I hear, though, yes,
yeah,
I understand why. Also, could it have been a situation of maybe he just wasn't ready to be in that top spot yet in 1987 because he was still pretty young. I want to say that was right around when the Horsemen turned on him. I'm not sure.
That sounds about right because I remember in '88, only at Clash, it was Flair and Steamboat.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't really I can't really say whether or not I don't really have much of an opinion on that because I don't really know much of that story. I wasn't old enough to even retain that type of information at the time.
Yep. Guess we're gonna have to go and archive that one on the Peacock
Yeah,
Network.
definitely. I might have to go back and look on that one.
Yeah, good
I
luck
have
on
to
that
definitely
one.
go back and check on that one and read up on it.
Well, if we're gonna,
I mean, and maybe more so because Barry Windham was just. I mean, he was a really good talent. You know, when he was younger, the lineage, coming from his dad and things of that nature. So him being that next guy, I see why he would have been a good choice, but it could have just been a situation where he was just too green.
yeah. I mean, but you know what? I got a couple of letdowns, and I'm gonna lump them kind of in the same category because they really kind of were letdowns. Giant Gonzalez and the Hall of Famer, the Great Khali. I mean, they were letdowns. They were supposed to.
Khali was a former world champion.
I get that.
Khali was a former world champion.
Yeah. All right, but I just he's to me still a letdown. I mean, Mr. Five Move Khali, he was only really brought in there to take down the Undertaker, just like Giant Gonzalez was brought in there just to take down the Undertaker.
And both failed, yet one stuck around and became world champion, and the other one
became world champion. But it was like that goes back to our first show. It's like the Great Khali's title reign was like,
yeah,
it's like,
but nonetheless,
yeah. Well,
it
whatever.
was a title reign. There have been worse champions.
Yeah, all right, yeah, there have been worse champions.
There have been worse champions.
I will not dispute that, but I'm a Great Khali, man. I'm sorry, not a fan. Not a fan. He let me down. I mean, they let me down. One time titleist, and I mean, you know what? I don't want to hear anybody say anything bad about Jinder Mahal ever again. Because Jinder Mahal, I don't care, man. He was a legit champion. I liked him.
Jinder was a legit champion. We're going to say that Jinder Mahal was a legit WWE champion.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Because he was. Oh, man. Here's a disappointment. Now we're getting somewhere. And we got a new contributor. Because I see you shaking your head at me, but this will brighten both of our days. Old Rodriguez, shout out to you, man. Thanks for jumping on. But Sting not going to the WWE after the WCW shut down in 2001, but he had his reasons. Was it a letdown? Yeah, but
I agree with each and every one of his reasons too.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not about to jump ship to the big stage to get buried because I didn't start there. No, right. I'm sorry. I'll just wait. I'll just wait 14. Right, I'll just wait 14 years to get buried by the Big Show because I didn't by the big stage because I didn't start there.
Right. I mean, was it a letdown? I mean, in a sense, kind of. To me, kind of, but he had his reasons, and I'm just glad that he was right.
He was. He really was. I completely agree with that.
He got his Hall of Fame ring, and then he got beat the next night, and just gave him his paycheck to go get his neck broke by Seth Rollins, and then showed him the door. That's it. Bye.
Yeah. But like I said, I completely agree with his reasons. With really everybody, like why am I going to go to work for less when I can sit here and make what I was making when I was working? But he makes a lot of sense. That next comment, no, that's not a letdown either.
That to me, no, that was kind of, we saw that one coming. So
no, that's not a letdown either. I'm actually there's actually a wrestling bios on that one. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go check that one out too. That one is really good on Muhammad. So. Man, I'm kind of liking everybody's suggestions this evening, man. See, you come on, we talk about. Yeah, we've been getting some good ones.
We've been getting some good ones, man. You got any more? You still got time. All right.
We've been getting some good.
Here we go. Here comes our retort. Then why did they disrespect Booker T when he got there? Sting was smart. Then he was. Sting was. He was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Yeah, he's right. 14 years, and I'll just take the pen and get buried there. At least I'll have the NWO around me.
Right. But Booker T, again, another we all know why. He just wasn't he wasn't a Vince guy. He wasn't a Vince guy. He wasn't gonna get over unless he did it on his own, and he did. But he really that's just really the bottom line. Like, he came over from WCW, he stuck it out. He wanted to become one of, or remain one of the guys wherever he was at. And it just didn't, he had to take his lumps. He had to lose his matches. He had to go through his embarrassing feuds and had to get his ass whooped in a grocery store. But we all know why, because he wasn't an original. He wasn't a Vince McMahon creation, which is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but that's just Vince being Vince.
Sadly.
I mean, we have time for a few more guys. So if you got any more, to throw out, please throw them out. Now's the time, because right now, I'm excuse me, I'm running out of moments, and how about this? How about Snitsky?
Never
Snitsky.
moved the needle for me.
Me either, but they were to me. He was Lars Sullivan. Well, that era's Lars Sullivan, big, goofy looking dude. Only, Lars brushed his teeth, but we don't want to talk about his extracurriculars.
Yeah, Snitsky never really moved in the. There we go, Arthur.
There we go.
Yes. When they bought out the Zombie for a squash match, like that was, and because we're on Sci-Fi, so we're gonna. You don't have to be relative to the network, man. Just show the product.
That's it.
Just show the product. Vince really, I knew the ECW was done and over with when Vince was the champion.
Well, of course, he wasn't going to let all that stuff go.
When he was ECW champion, wearing a goddamn do-rag after WrestleMania 23.
You remember where he got?
It was a wrap then.
You remember who he got that title off of?
Bob. He got the title off of Bob.
That's right. He got it off of Bob.
Unfortunately. Right. And do you remember how Bob won the title, which wasn't a letdown, in my opinion? That Extreme Elimination Chamber? Ooh, man.
I just remember. I remember when Bob gave up the ECW title.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding
me?
Another letdown. That was a letdown, yeah. All of Bob's reigns except for now.
Yes, sir.
Those are letdowns right there, because obviously he did it other places.
Oh yeah. And I'm glad he did, because he wouldn't have been able to be at the point that he is now if he wouldn't have went and kind of like honed his skills, as people would like to say, elsewhere. Whether it was Octagon, whether it was at TNA, he put the work in. I'm actually really happy for him. Oh yeah.
He showed out there and everything. I mean, you can't deny Bobby Lashley. Everywhere he went, he was successful. MMA at the same time,
I'm glad he got rid of that dumbass headband, though. That was not.
Yeah,
cool.
That headband wasn't really working for anybody.
Mm-mm. Nope, not I.
And then the way he came in with the whole like Lashley sisters like thing. I mean, he had to eat a plate of shit,
Yeah.
So,
but you know what though? I mean, a lot of guys have gone through that before they got put in that top spot. A lot of guys have gone through that.
All right, I think we got time for one more, and it's right here in the comments. Here we go. It was a missed opportunity, though. I will say that it was kind of a letdown. I was looking forward to for one, was looking forward to some decent, like old school cruiserweight matches, and I should have known
storyline.
We got storyline. We got Enzo Amore. We got what's his name?
Leo Rush.
What was his?
The Brian Kendrick.
Hey,
Brian Kendrick.
No,
Did he? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Not
retired.
that Brian Kendrick. The
No,
Brian
the
Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick. Yeah, he retired today.
With
And
3
he's now
E's
a
at the end.
producer. Now a producer.
Okay.
So
Good for him. I didn't know he retired.
Good on
Well,
him.
Good for him.
Because I know he runs his little wrestling training because he was training that one redheaded girl that used to wrestle that was just totally horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say her name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction. So
I'll say her name. He's not on the show today. Eva
Oh,
Marie.
yeah,
Brian Kendrick is responsible for that letdown right there.
yes. I'm gonna actually, yep,
Jeez.
exactly. I'm gonna make that one right now. You think I'm playing?
Yeah, just
All right, here we go. This is, and I'm just putting it out there because you said it. So there you go. That is our number one letdown right there. Eva Marie, and we are going to end the show on that. So you know what time it is? We're just going to take a few minutes for this. It is shout out time. So go ahead.
go ahead, Dan.
Go
No,
ahead. What do we got going on?
I've been going first the last couple of weeks. I've been going
All right,
first the
that's
last couple
fine.
of weeks.
You're
Go
right.
ahead.
You're right. Yeah, last week I did. So we'll single screen this. I want to shout out everybody who tuned in today because let me tell you right now, we're picking up. We're going places. So like, share, and subscribe. I'll say it like 5 more times before we get out of here. But shout out to you guys for tuning in. This has been a very fun one, and you know we hope to take off even further on this one. I also want to shout out my boys who are in the next room. Devin, Dakota, and Luther, they're all in there playing Mario Maker 2 on their Switch. So
Kevin's not here.
so they're doing all that. And yep, I just gotta wish everybody also a happy Easter because Easter is this Sunday. So you know what? If you got any of them Cadbury cream eggs or something like that, you can send them. You can send them right over here. You know, any Jelly Bellies though. Jelly Bellies will work. And also
Send the Jelly Bellies to Dan. I'll take the Cadbury.
all right, you know what? That's a fair trade. And just remember, man,
And no
right here,
peeps either. I don't nobody want no damn peeps.
we're not Christian Cage. We don't need no peeps. So you know what? All the hate mail goes right there. I'll read it live online. Go ahead, and just remember, as like I just said, you know, like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. So, William, it is your turn. Who are you shouting out?
My usuals, my man Mike Wesley and the Sports Entertainment Club podcast. He's growing on all these different platforms. I want to say he's on Apple now. He wasn't on Apple last week. Get me on the show when the playoffs start, Mike. You know I'm good for talking basketball. Shout out to Mark and Infinite Banner. I want my T-shirt. I'm gonna keep saying it.
We want our shirt, buddy.
I want a T-shirt for your birthday. That's what I want, an Infinite Banner T-shirt for your birthday. That's how we gonna do that. Shout out to Tim, twitching and switching and shooting people and all of that other good fun stuff. James, brother, we thinking about you, man. Everybody is, you're on everybody's mind. Let's just pray for the positivity and hope that everything turns out well and that you can get back in the ring, get back to training, and get your tail on the show because you were supposed to be here a couple weeks ago. Gotta have your own, man. Gotta have your own.
Take your time. Take care of you.
Yes, but yeah, most importantly, yes.
You already know our outside email addresses and all that stuff outside of my hate mail email address.
Yes.
Please get a hold of us. You know, if you want to come on, you tell us, and we will make this happen because I'm sure everybody would love to hear you give your insight on, because I'm saving it when you get on. It's gonna be Texas wrestling, and I want some barbecue on. I want some ribs being shown that you were eating, so I can sit there and just be hella jealous. Just saying, you are the chef.
Oh, one more thing for the group members. I'm gonna leave my trivia question up just in case y'all want us to figure it out, and we'll have y'all on next week. Whoever answers, again, the question is, what number 30 entrant lasted in the Royal Rumble the longest from the number 30 spot? If you can give me the entrant and the time, or just the entrant and the year, maybe, I really don't care, or just the entrant. Yeah, just the entrant. That'll be cool too. So if y'all want to still answer the question, I'm gonna leave it up, and hopefully we can get an answer and have one of y'all on next week with us.
Yeah, and you know what? You want to be on next week, and I'm going to tell you why. Because next week is WrestleMania. we are gonna. I thought it was this week, so I apologize. But you know what? It is next week. Our Hall of Fame is going to be unveiled. I have it all set up. Voting has already ended, so whoever's on there is on there, and that is it. That is our first class, along with Bruiser Brody and the Doctor of Style himself, Slick. Those two are grandfathered in. Everybody else had to suffer to the vote, and I knew who they are. I have them all counted, and I'm kind of surprised at this.
Message me the winner. Well, you know what? We'll talk about it off air.
We'll talk about it right off
because
the
I
bat.
don't like surprises. I need to know.
No, but
I might need to give a speech for somebody. So
oh yeah, we're gonna be giving speeches for anybody. So if anybody wants to volunteer to give a speech, you are more than welcome to. But let's get our WrestleMania
you know what?
on.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
I have an idea. We'll
Go
talk
ahead.
about
Let's
it. No, we'll talk. I'm not going to talk about it on air.
Oh,
I'm
we're
not going
gonna
to
do it
spill
on
it. We're
air?
not going to talk about it on air.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. You're going to like this one.
Yeah, he don't like surprises, but you know,
You're gonna like this one.
you guys have to wait.
Yep.
But
Gotta wait.
it's going to be our WrestleMania show. We're going to be fine. Luther, you want to say bye to everybody?
Bye. Hey, Dad.
Good night, nephew.
What are you
Say
doing
good
in
night.
here? Good night.
All right.
I want to be a pucker.
All right, go play.
No, thank you.
This kid. Oh, and I have all three of them tonight because it is bedtime for these boys. But until next week, before we get all ready for WrestleMania. That's William. I'm Dan. This is the filler segment. We'll see you next week. Dig it. See ya.